Once upon a time, in a cozy home, a father and his young son gathered for a family meeting. The room was adorned with their mission statement, a reminder of their shared values and aspirations. The father had an important lesson to impart to his son, a lesson about leverage delegation and the power of taking responsibility for one's actions. As the family sat together, the father set up a large blackboard. He asked everyone to think about their goals, the things they wanted to achieve as a family, and the tasks required to fulfill those goals. With genuine curiosity, he asked for volunteers to take on various responsibilities. "Who wants to pay the mortgage?" he asked, glancing around the room. To his amusement, he was the only one with his hand raised. He continued, "What about the insurance, the food, the cars?" It became apparent that he held a monopoly on these essential tasks. Then, with a playful smile, he asked, "Who wants to feed the new baby?" The room filled with laughter, as it was clear that his wife was the most qualified for that particular responsibility. As they went through the list, job by job, it became evident that the parents already shouldered a heavy workload, with their work weeks often exceeding 60 hours. Amidst the discussions, the father's 7-year-old son, Christopher, spoke up. He eagerly volunteered to take care of the yard. Intrigued by his son's willingness to help, the father embarked on a training process to ensure Christopher understood the concept of leverage delegation. He took Christopher next door to their neighbor's house, a shining example of a well-cared-for yard. The father pointed to the lush green grass and the tidy surroundings. "Son," he said, "that's what we're aiming for, a green and clean yard. How you achieve it is up to you. You're free to choose any method except painting it. The color green is what matters to us. Understand?" Christopher nodded, absorbing his father's words. The father continued, "And let's talk about clean. It means no messes, no litter or debris that spoils the place. Let's clean up half the yard now and see the difference." They grabbed paper sacks and diligently picked up the clutter on one side, creating a clear contrast. Eager to contribute more wisdom, Christopher exclaimed, "Wait! I see some paper behind that bush." The father smiled at his son's keen observation. "Excellent! I didn't notice that newspaper. You have sharp eyes, son." But the father wasn't done imparting his wisdom. He wanted Christopher to understand the essence of leverage fully. He explained, "When you take on this job, it becomes your leverage. You're in charge, not me. You become your boss. How do you feel about Mom and me nagging you all the time?" Christopher made a face and responded, "I don't like it." "Exactly," the father agreed. "We don't like it either. So you're the boss, and you get to be the boss yourself. However, I'm here to help as your assistant. You can tell me how I can assist you, and I'll gladly lend a hand whenever I can." A sparkle of excitement lit up Christopher's eyes. The father continued, "But remember, my time is limited, and occasionally I won't be available. That's when you take charge. And guess who judges your work?" Pondering for a moment, Christopher replied tentatively, Me. The father beamed with pride, affirming his son's response. That's right, Christopher. You judge yourself. Twice a week, we'll walk around the yard together and you can show me how it's coming along. During our walks, what will we be looking for? Christopher's face brightened with understanding. Green and clean, he replied confidently. The father couldn't contain his pride in his son's grasp of the concept. He had trained Christopher with those two words, green and clean, for 2 weeks, ensuring he understood the desired results. Today marked the moment of truth, the day Christopher would officially take on the responsibility. With a warm smile, the father extended his hand. Is it a deal, Christopher? Christopher's eyes gleamed with determination as he firmly shook his father's hand. It's a deal, he declared. Excellent! So what's the job? The father asked, affirming their agreement. To be green and clean, Christopher replied, a hint of excitement in his voice. The father nodded in approval. That's right. And what does green mean? Christopher glanced at their gradually improving yard, the patches of vibrant green amidst the remaining brown spots. Then, pointing next door, he confidently stated, That's the color of his yard. And clean? The father prompted. No mess, Christopher responded promptly. No paper, strings, bones, or anything that messes up the place. Proudly, the father continued their dialogue. And who's the boss, Christopher? Confidence radiated from Christopher as he replied, I am. I'm the boss of my leverage. The father's eyes sparkled with admiration. Exactly, my son. You're in charge. And who's your helper? Christopher's gaze met his father's. You are, Dad. When you have time, you can assist me. The father nodded appreciatively. That's right. I'm here to support you, but remember, your leverage is ultimately your responsibility. Curiosity gleamed in Christopher's eyes as he asked, And who judges my work? A gentle smile crossed the father's face. You do, Christopher. You are your judge. When we walk around the yard twice a week, you can show me how it's coming along and we'll assess it together. And what will we be looking for? Green and clean, Christopher answered with conviction, fully embracing the principles of leverage delegation. With a sense of accomplishment, the father patted Christopher's shoulder. You've got it, my son. You've truly understood the essence of leverage delegation. Now, it's time for you to take charge and make our yard green and clean. From that day forward, Christopher enthusiastically embraced his leverage. Armed with the understanding that the results mattered more than the methods, he explored different ways to achieve a green yard, watering with sprinklers, using buckets, or a hose. He took pride in his work, ensuring the yard was free from any messes that would mar its beauty. The father, true to his word, became Christopher's trusted helper. Whenever he had leisure time, he joined his son in the yard, assisting with tasks or offering guidance when needed. Christopher reveled in his newfound independence and the trust bestowed upon him. Twice a week, father and son embark on their joint assessment walks. Christopher eagerly showcased his progress, pointing out the areas that had transformed into lush greenness and the absence of any clutter. The father listened attentively, providing encouragement and celebrating Christopher's achievements. As the seasons passed, Christopher's leverage blossomed. The yard transformed into a verdant oasis, a testament to his dedication and responsibility. The once dull patches now vibrated with life, a testament to the power of leverage delegation and the freedom it offered. But the true reward came not just in the form of a green and clean yard, but in the personal growth and development of Christopher. Through the experience of leveraging delegation, he learned the value of taking ownership and accountability for his actions. He discovered the joy and satisfaction that comes from setting goals, visualizing the desired outcomes, and working diligently towards achieving them. Moreover, Christopher developed a deep sense of self-reliance and confidence. The knowledge that he was entrusted with a significant responsibility empowered him to make decisions, think creatively, and solve problems on his own. The father's guidance and support were always available, but Christopher learned to tap into his resourcefulness and take the initiative in managing his leverage. Beyond their family, the wisdom of leverage delegation spread. The father shared his experiences with others, highlighting the benefits of focusing on results rather than micromanaging the methods. His story inspired many to adopt a similar approach, fostering a culture of empowerment and accountability in various aspects of their lives. The moral of the story is that through leverage delegation, empowering others to take responsibility and make decisions, we unlock their true potential for personal growth. By focusing on shared outcomes and trusting in the abilities of those we delegate to, we create an environment of empowerment, accountability, and self-reliance. This approach not only leads to successful results, but also cultivates stronger relationships, a sense of purpose, and a more harmonious and fulfilling world. The end. Thank you for watching. Consider subscribing for more videos like this from this channel. We love you. Once